Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Omwando Enoch. Of course, this is channel #1 on matters disability. It's a bright afternoon, although it seems that it is going to rain, but we have been having some sunlight outside. We are seated in our office working, and we decided at this time, this is lunchtime, we decided that we should give you an information on our, concerning our channel, on our issues that are concerning persons with disabilities, and that is why we've decided to bring you a video. For the returning viewers, I want to thank you very, very much, and for the new viewers, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming and watching Omwando Enoch views. But if you're viewing this video and you have not subscribed, kindly I request you just pause that video and subscribe to Omwando Enoch channel so that you can promote us road to 1,000 subscribers. Imagine if I'll get you, I will get 30 of you or 27 of you. I'll be done. I'll reach 1,000 subscribers. So I'm remaining with only 27 subscribers for me to reach 1,000 subscribers, and for you to be monetized as a YouTuber, for you to start maybe earning something small, because of course guys, we spend a lot to bring you these videos, and it's not bad that if YouTube can start paying us, and for us to be paid, I've been telling you that one should have 1,000 subscribers, and I don't know why you're waiting not to subscribe so that you can support us. Also, we need watch hours, so make sure that you watch this video to the end. Kindly watch this video to the end so that you can be able to get the whole concept on what we are discussing. And as you can see the title, it's our video today is very much interesting and very much educative, because people have been asking about this all along. They have been saying, Omwando, come and tell us. Although I've been talking about this maybe in some of the videos, but I've been going through, just brushing over. I've not gone into details. So today I want to go into details concerning today's topic. So kindly, I'll give you a few moments to subscribe. 1, 2, 3. Thank you a lot for subscribing. I don't take you for granted. And for the returning viewers, I also don't take you for granted. And thank you for those ones who have been giving us comments, saying, commenting on the videos, congratulating us, congratulating those ones, because as you can see from the description of our the YouTube channel, is bringing you stories, inspiring stories of persons with disabilities and all matters relating with persons with disabilities. So a few videos which we have been bringing you in this channel a few days ago, we have been bringing persons with disabilities who have been inspiring us so much. So we'll keep bringing more people, but today we decided that we should change. And without much ado, straight to our discussion or our message today. Members, as I said, that people have been asking about this topic, and the topic for today is, what are the requirements for one to import a duty-free car? What are the requirements for one to import a duty-free car? As we all know, there's a video that we posted on concerning how to import a duty-free car. Sometimes back we did that video. If you've not watched it, you can go back and watch our videos. Just search for the how to import a duty-free car. So you'll get that video and you'll see how to import that duty-free car. So today I'm not going to talk about how to import the duty-free car, now that I told you the process and all that stuff. But I want to talk about the requirements. What makes one, what are the requirements for one to import that duty-free car? Because the government of Kenya Of course, for those ones who maybe are joining us for the first time, and you are the new, you are the this is your first time watching Omando Enoch channel, and maybe you are this is your first time and you are a new subscriber and you are watching this video. What am I talking about? The requirements of importing a duty-free car is that Kenya has given persons with disabilities a leeway of importing a car without paying duty or tax. So it has given them that, you know, leeway or that legal favor. Let me call it legal favor of importing a car without paying tax. Because if you are importing a car here in Kenya, I don't know of other countries, but I believe they also pay duties or tax for the same. But with persons with disabilities, or for persons with disabilities, one is not supposed to pay a duty-free car. But it's not automatic that if you are a person with disabilities, you are eligible, or just a requirement is want to be a person with disabilities, you just go import a car and you'll be cleared with KRA, you'll not pay it. That is Kenya Revenue Authority, you'll not pay tax. No, it's not that way. There are requirements for you to qualify. Not only, you're not supposed to be only a person with disabilities and that is all. No. There are other requirements that one should attain for you to be able to be allowed to import a duty-free car. And that is what we want to discuss today. So point number one, if you are you have not, you know, just take a pen and a pen and a book, maybe a notebook, and write these notes down. But if you are okay with this, you can go and refer this video every now and then. Maybe if you wanted to import a duty-free car, you'll just go and refer the video and see, oh, Mwando Enoch said, what are the requirements? Then you'll check on the requirements if it suits you. So point number one, for one to import a duty-free car, of course, this one is obvious. For one, must be a person with disabilities. He or she must be a person with disabilities. That is point number one. You must be a person with disabilities. Underline the word must, because there are people maybe uko na mtoto wako is your child. You have a child with disability, or your father is a person with disability, and you are watching this video. Maybe you say, let me go import the car on the name of my father. No, it doesn't work that way. It's your father to import that car. So if you wanted to buy your father a car, then what you will do, you will go put that money into your father's account. Then your father will buy this car for himself, but not you buying for your father on a duty-free. That one cannot go through. So it's you go put that money in the account of your father. Say that you wanted, maybe your father is a person with disabilities and maybe is on a wheelchair, is a person with visual impairment, is a person with physical impairment, and you realize that maybe your father has been going through so many challenges and all that, mobility, moving from one place to another, and you decided that you want to surprise your father with a car. And then you go and buy, you go search for a car in either Japan or UK or wherever. Then you go and pay for that car. Then you bring, when it reaches at the port, Mombasa, then you'll say, now, my father, I bought this car for my father, so you should clear it for duty-free. That one cannot work out. You'll go put that money in your father's account. Then your father, maybe you will help him if he is not able. You go source money for him. Then you go to the bank. Your father pays that cash. The invoice is written under your father's name. And then from there, now you will be able to be cleared at Mombasa port by KRA on duty free, because your father is the one, the car bears your father's name, but not you going to buy the car on behalf of your father. So, and again, you'll be very careful when you are doing this, because some people have been asking about these questions. If I wanted to promote my father, maybe with a car and all that stuff. So that is the procedure you go. And your father will have to prove to KRA that this money alipata wapi. So he'll go and he'll swear an affidavit and say that his son promoted him, alimpatia pesa, and when he gave him that money, the father decided to promote himself. He decided to use that cash to buy the car. He gave him the money. There is the son or the daughter who gave the money, but he he was not specific, because you should not be the father should not be specific that the son sent me some cash and he told me to buy a car. No, not that way. You send your father the money, then your father will go when he's going to explain to KRA, because KRA nowadays they doubt, more especially when the cash comes to the bank, inakuja tu pap, and they realize that this cash was put in their bank and went out buying car. So the father will go and explain himself, or express himself, explain to KRA that this is my son who gave money. He decided to surprise me with a certain amount of cash. Then I decided to use that cash to buy the car, and you'll be done. So point number one, mark the point. I've said all these things, but I've educated you in many words that one must be a person with disabilities. Point number two, not just a person with disabilities, but you must be registered with National Council for Persons with Disabilities. If you are new here and maybe you are wondering what is Omanda talking about, what is that National Council for Persons with Disabilities? This is a body set aside by the government of Kenya, handling all matters relating with persons with disabilities. And one of the mandates, I've talked about the mandates of National Council for Persons with Disabilities, but one of the mandates and the core mandate of National Council for Persons with Disabilities is to register persons with disabilities here in Kenya. So for one to qualify to be able to import a duty-free car, he or she must be registered with National Council for Persons with Disabilities. If you want to know how to register as a person with disabilities in the organization that is National Council for Persons with Disabilities, just go to Omanda Enoch, search how to register as a person with disabilities. You'll get that with the National Council. So you'll go and just go and search. I've put that video there, so you'll go and know how to do that. So one must be registered with the persons with the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. That is, sorry? You are saying? Sorry? Director, I'm not. Sorry for that. We got some disturbances. We had a client in the office. That is what the director was informing me. So as I was saying, that one must be registered with the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. That is another point number two. Because point number one, I said one must be a person with a disability. So point number two, you must be registered. As much as you are a person with disabilities, you cannot be recognized in our country unless you are registered with the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, and you must have a disability identity card. So that is point number two. Point number three, another qualification for persons, for one to import a duty-free car is that you must be, if you are a person with disabilities and you are employed, you must have what we call tax exemption certificate. Tax exemption certificate. This is a certificate which is being given by Kenya Revenue Authority. Kenya Revenue Authority. This is the body which is mandated by the Kenyan government to collect all the tax. So you must be registered with you must have a tax exemption certificate. And if you want to know how to get tax exemption certificate, I've also given that. I've also put that video in our videos. That is on Omanda Enoch channel. You just go and search how to get a tax exemption certificate, and you'll get that video there. Then you'll know how to go about it. So remember, I said that this one belongs to those ones who are employed, because somebody might ask, what about those ones who are not employed? I'll come there. So this one is one of the qualifications for those who are employed by the government of Kenya, is that you should have what we call tax exemption certificate. And remember, this tax exemption certificate, it's not the document that will make you to be cleared from Mombasa on a duty free. I'll come there. I'll come and tell you what. But one of the documents which is needed for you to take to KRA, because I talked about the process on how to import a duty-free car and all that to be cleared with KRA and all that. One of the documents that is needed is tax exemption certificate. Alongside what I said, a registration card for persons with disabilities. So tax exemption certificate for those ones who are employed is a mandate. For you, it's a must. You should have that tax exemption certificate. For you is one of the documents if you are employed, either with the government or private sector. Because if you are a private employee, of course you are being taxed. So for you to not to be taxed, not to pay what we call pay as you earn, you must go for tax exemption certificate, whether you are a private employee or a government employee. So for those who are employed, either private or government, you should have, or you must have, tax exemption certificate. So another thing that is a requirement for those ones who are, sorry, if I go back, for those ones who are not employed is not a requirement. But these other requirements that I talked about, the first two requirements, those ones is a must. But for exemption certificate, if you are not employed, maybe you are a farmer, you are a businessman, you earn your money from, maybe your son wanted to promote you and amekupatia pesa kwa account, and you've decided that you want to use that cash, as we said, for to buy a car for his movement. It's not a must that you should have exemptions because you are not employed. So another requirement is that you should have what we call an invoice. Now we have gone another route. I talked about maybe how to import a duty-free car, and I said that that one of the processes is to go buy. After you've bought the car, you'll be given by that by the authority, or by the organization, or by the site that you bought the car, the body that you used to buy a car. Maybe let's assume that it is SBT Japan, for example, or Be Forward. So you've sourced the car, you have identified maybe a Fielder, Toyota Fielder, or a Harrier, or a Mercedes Benz. You've decided that I'm going for this Mercedes now. Then you've bargained, and you have agreed that the Mercedes will go for maybe $10,000. If you translate to that, maybe it's 1.5 million Kenyan shillings. So you'll go to the bank, you'll pay that cash under your name. Remember, I said the nini must be under your name, that invoice. So you've paid. There is what we will receive. That is that document you'll receive from SPT or Be Forward. That is an invoice bearing your name, so showing how much you paid for the car. So that one of the documents is the invoice. That is the invoice that I'm talking about. So that is another requirement. You must have an invoice. Another requirement is that you should have what we call clearance. That is inspection certificate. Because when you buy a car, let's assume you have paid for your car. You have paid for your Mercedes Benz. You paid it in Japan. So after your payment, the Japan people, those ones who are selling the car, will take it for inspection. So it will go inspected whether it is worthy to come and to enter into Kenya. For layman language, it should be, that's what we call Kenya Bureau of Standard. So it should be certified that it can come in. So that car in Kenya, but the rule here in Kenya is that one should not import a car which is more than 8 years. So since the year of manufacture, it should not go beyond 8 years, or that is 9, 10, or all that. It should be 8 years and below. That is 8, 7, 6, 1, or whichever. I think you understand. So that inspection certificate is one of the requirements. So you should have what we call the inspection certificate. Another requirement is that you must have what we call bill of landing. Bill of landing certificate, or document, is a document that after shipping, after you've bought the car, now it has gone to inspection, it has been inspected, and it has been approved that it's worthy to enter into Kenya market, or Kenya, into our country Kenya. So it will be shipped now. It has gone, you have booked the site, the people who are selling you the car, they have booked the shipping line. Then that car imepelekwa for shipping. It has been taken and it has been shipped. Now as it is coming, it is on the way to Mombasa, you will be sent a document known as Bill of Landing. We call it BL, Bill of Landing. Bill of Landing, it is a document that shows what kind of a car you imported, when is the car expected to be in Mombasa, that is Kenya, port in Mombasa. You know, what kind of a car, how much you paid for that car, and all that stuff, the chases number, vitu mingi, it has a lot of things. So that you must have that Bill of Landing document. That is another requirement. Another requirement is that you must prove to KRA where you got the money. And for you to prove, you must have what we call a bank statement. So you'll go to the bank after paying that cash. You'll go and tell the bank to print for you a document, a bank statement that whereby one of the requirement in that bank statement, it should show the payment that you did, how you did the payment, how much you did, and all that. It should bear the payment. And also that bank statement should be at least 6 months bank statement. So hiyo itakuwa inaonyesha how you've been running your account, imekuwa ikirani aje, pesa imekuwa ikiingia aje, imekuwa ikitoka aje, you know, all those things. So that KRA you will prove the KRA that, or indeed this money, it's mine, because the bank statement, it's mine, and the bank account belongs to me, and this cash niliipata ilikuwa ina flow aje. Maybe you are a businessman. Let's assume that you are a businessman and you're doing some business. So for a person who has a business, then the account should run. It should be you know, kutoa pesa na kuingia, kutoa na kuingia, kutoa na kuingia, you know, withdrawing and depositing, depositing. So that account should the bank statement should show how you have been depositing, how you have been withdrawing the cash. So that's one of the important document, a very important document for you, and a very important requirement for one to, you know, to import that duty-free car. So bank statement, those documents that I've talked about, all of those. Another requirement that you need is license. If you are a person with disability and you have a physical disability, maybe you are on a wheelchair, maybe you use a crutch, maybe one hand, maybe all those disabilities. We have talked about the categories of persons with disability. So one of the requirements for a person who is who has a physical disability, you must have a license which we call Class F. Of course, I talked about that when we were saying that how to import a duty-free car. But this time round, I think I've talked about it in details that you should have Class F. Initially, it was Class H, but nowadays it is Class F. Class F is a license which belongs to persons with disabilities. So, if you have a physical disability, you must have a Class F license. And Class F is only offered by one school, that is Rocky School. Only Rocky School is where you will get that Class F certificate. On how to get the Class F certificate, maybe I'll talk about it in our coming videos. I might talk about how to get a Class F, what are the requirements for one to get Class F certificates. But you must have that Class F certificate. But if you are visually impaired or a person with hearing impairment, then you must attach a license for a person who is going to be your driver. If maybe you are as I said, you are a person with hearing impairment, so you'll go, maybe it's your wife, you can decide, if your son or a friend, you take his license, you'll attach that license. So one of the requirements is you must attach a license, or you must have a license of the person who is going to help you or who is going to drive you around. So that is another requirement. Another requirement that is very important is that you must have what we call medical report. You must have a medical report from the doctor. You must have a medical report. When we say that for one to be registered as a person with disabilities, one of the requirements is that he should go to the hospital, or she should go to the hospital, afanyiwe what we call assessment. So that assessment medical report is one of the requirements, one of the documents you should attach when you are applying for the duty-free car importation. So you must have a medical report. So those are the requirements that I've talked about. Then another thing, you'll do a letter asking KRA that you are a person with disabilities, therefore you are entitled to import a duty-free car. So you are requesting them to give that. So the two letters, one letter you will address Director National Council for Persons with Disabilities, and another letter you will address Commissioner, KRA Commissioner in charge of duties. So or customs, actually KRA Commissioner in charge of customs. So you will address another letter to him. So you'll take all these documents that I've talked about now, all those documents, mali nilianzia, I've talked about the qualification and nikakuja and all that. So you'll take all these documents that I've talked about, including the two letters. Those are the covering letters now. So then you take a juu kabisa, you'll put them on top. Then you'll take them, you'll divide them into two bundles. You'll make them two bundles. I remember I said in this channel about it. Maybe you've not watched that video. So now that I was talking about the requirements, so you will take all these documents, put them together, but in two bundles. One bundle, the first bundle, you'll take it to National Council for Persons with Disabilities headquarters. That is ABC Place, Nairobi, Westlands. Then the office of the director. Remember I said that one of the letters you will address Director National Council for Persons with Disabilities. And you'll take this letter to his office. Then you'll be written a recommendation letter by the Office of National Council for Persons with Disabilities Director. He'll do you a letter. I said he'll do you a recommendation letter. Then this recommendation letter, you will put it in the other bundle that you address the KRA Customs Commissioner. You put it, you pin them together, then you take them to KRA office. That is tunaitaje director huko kwa KRA offices in Times Towers. Sorry, thank you for that. So you'll take them to Times Towers for approval. Then ukishapeleka pale, the first day you'll drop those documents there. Then they'll tell you come tomorrow. So the following day you'll go for what we call vetting. They will vet you, they see you in person, they will question you, maybe kama your documents are not clear, maybe for example, more especially zenye huwa wana question sana is about where you got the money from. But if the bank statement is very clear that you maybe you went for a loan and you borrowed this, you used this loan to buy a car, then that one is clear. But when it's not clear, then they will ask you some few questions. Don't be worried, you'll be able to answer them questions as long as you did this genuinely. As long as it's not somebody who was using to buy the car, don't worry about that. Then after wamekuuliza all those questions, they'll see, they'll check, and they confirm the documents, whether they are the authenticity of the original documents. Remember, you carry the original documents with you. They will see, they will check. Then after they have checked the documents and approve that they see the documents are okay, then they will do you what we call an entry. They'll write you an entry letter. This entry letter is now giving the authority that the KRA customs officers who are working in Mombasa, that is the port in Mombasa, they'll give the letter will be saying that now we have allowed this person to import the duty-free car, and that letter will bear what we call entry number. That is not that entry number. When they are clearing exemption, this one is now in details, but I'll not talk about it. This one is about Mombasa when you are being cleared. Maybe I'll talk about what are the requirements for you to be cleared, but these are the requirements for you to be cleared. So the process maybe to be cleared, uiona maybe kwa ile video yenye tuliweka on how to process ya kuimport duty free car. So all this utapewa the entry letter. This entry letter, you'll call it, you'll attach together with your original documents na copies za documents zenye tumekuwa tukiongelea, the invoice and all that. The original of the invoices, you'll call them, then you'll send to the agent to Mombasa, and he'll start the clearance and you'll get your car. So gentlemen and ladies, those are the requirements that are required for one to import a duty-free car. So many people have been asking about this question, and I believe I've answered. And if you feel that you are not been satisfied, you'll just go to the comment section. Umwando Enoch, just ask me. I'm free. I'm there. I'll answer your questions. Maybe where it is not clear, you can go to the comment section. just ask. I'll be there for you, and I'll answer that question. And if you are there, maybe you feel that there is something that I did not touch as one of the requirements, kindly go to the comment section, just do a write-up and say that these are the requirements, that one of the requirements that Omwando Enoch maybe forgot. Because as you can see, I don't have where I'm reading. I'm only using this off-ed. So I'm doing it off-ed. So kindly do that comment. Go on to comment section and do that. I believe I've answered all those questions that you people have been asking. Thank you for always coming. Thank you for always maybe saying what, you are the ones you are my soldiers, and you are the ones who direct me on what I'm supposed to do. Otherwise, today I wanted to give a shout out to I Am Marwa. There's a friend of mine who is doing videos, and the reason why I'm doing this shout out is that I Am Marwa is one of persons with disabilities, because if you didn't know, I Am Marwa has a mono eye. One of his eyes is not working, is not seeing. So it has no vision. So he's one of us. He's a person with disabilities. He's one of persons that I follow so much. If you can check on him and support him by subscribing. He's one of persons ambaye ana inspire persons with disabilities. Amefungua so many YouTube channels for people and all that stuff. So shout out to my brother I Am Marwa. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching our videos. Thank you, my brother George, who always comes and watches the videos. Thank you, Irene, who belongs to Challenged Network of Kenya, for watching our videos. Those and all those ones whom I have not named, thank you for always watching our videos. Otherwise, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Omwando Enoch, and remember to share this video, and remember to like the video. Until next time, bye-bye.